Hey, everybody. Excuse me. Oh my gosh,
Hey.
frog in the throat. So I am here today with Miss Emily Brister.
Yeah.
And she is, well, tell us what you're with and what you do and stuff.
So I live in Watford City, and I'm a birth boot camp childbirth instructor, and I'm a certified doula. So I teach childbirth classes there, and then I service Williston, Dickinson, Watford City, Sydney areas for doula services, kind of in this region. So I travel.
And this with birth boot camp, so there's two different sides of it. There's birth boot camp, like birth education, childbirth education, right?
Yeah.
And then there's also like the doula side.
Yeah.
And you have both.
Yes, I'm certified with both. Birth Boot Camp is a national certifying organization. And so they certify childbirth educators, and then they have a side that certifies doulas for, that's doulas.
So you provide both services. Now, you were saying there's how many different classes that you can teach? Eight or
There's
9. 8 different classes.
Yeah.
So which one do you have coming up in October?
I have the hospital birth class. So if you're having a hospital birth, and it's a 6-week series, I'm going to be teaching in Watford City. I have a great location I'm teaching up there. It's pretty awesome.
You said it's a 6-week series, so
Yep.
one day a week.
One day a week. Yep, we're going to
Okay.
be meeting on Thursday nights from 6:30 to 9:30ish. And then it'll go for 2.5, 3 hours, 1 day a week for 6 weeks.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I think that, see, we're at my house and my daughter's going to come and like say stuff to us. So tell us a little bit about like what are some of the classes? Like you said, this time you're doing the hospital birth one, but
Okay.
what are some of the other ones that you...
So Birth Boot Camp started with this 10-week. This is the 10-week comprehensive class, and it's a great class. This is going to cover everything about birth and labor, pregnancy. We're going to talk about stages of labor, things like that. So they took that class and pulled from it and condensed down and created some shorter classes. So I'm teaching the hospital birth class. So this is going to be like everything you need to know about having a hospital birth. And we do labor positions. We practice relaxations. We do comfort measures in class. Kind of give you some tools to cope with labor.
Yeah.
You're going to know how to make informed decisions.
Yeah. And what your choices are.
Yeah.
Like I do my prenatal class every couple of months, and it's usually just for a couple hours. And I'm like, there's no way I can shorten it because that is only the tip of the iceberg. And after like doing the one last week, they're like, this was so, like we had some people who did the centering program and some who didn't, which is awesome. Centering, I think it's great because it's like 2 hours with that provider. You can ask questions, all that kind of stuff. But they're like, you talked about totally different stuff than what we did in our centering class. But it's like, I think too, it gives you more questions, which is great because all of a sudden you're like, wait, I have more options than what I thought. And it gets you thinking. And now yours is much more than in depth, which I love. So it's like tip of the iceberg to figure out, wow, we have so many more decisions than we ever thought.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now I can go deeper into it.
Yeah.
If they so choose, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's great. Like, I've had so many people who are like, oh, I don't need to take, like, childbirth classes or whatever. And we always are like, even after our first one, we're like, I would highly recommend you do. Because even if it's the ones from the hospital or whatever, you get an idea of, like, if they were to come in with the amnio hook, you know what that is. You're not freaking out like, what are you doing? What is that used for?
Yeah.
Or whatnot. So I love that. And you're going to go way more in depth as to like you said, like comfort measures and things like that. So.
And in this hospital birth class, we talk a lot about interventions, what to expect if you get an epidural.
Yeah.
So those things, questions
Benefits,
to ask.
risks, like all that kind of stuff.
So
what happens next?
Yeah, so that you can make an informed decision and do what's best for you and what's best for babies.
Right,
So.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to talk a little bit about the doula role because I was a doula for a while for moms, and I think people don't quite understand sometimes what a doula is there for. Like, we are not there to make decisions for you or anything like that. So you kind of explain.
Non-medical. I can't tell you what the best option for you is going to be when you're in labor. So what I do is I come to your birth when you call me. And so I'm going to help you and help your partner do comfort measures and counter pressure, hip squeezes, whatever is working for you, until, through that active labor. Just provide emotional support. Make sure your partner eats, because when you're in labor, sometimes people forget to eat. And so, so just kind of those kinds of things. I'm not replacing anybody. I'm not replacing your support person or your people. I don't do that. I just get to add to your team.
Right.
And,
right. But I think it's good too, the encouragement and reminder of what was the birth, what did you say you wanted for your birth too? Because sometimes when we're in labor, we forget at times, or we're like, no, it all was out the window. Like, just give me this. It's like, but you didn't want this. Mm-hmm. This is why you didn't want this. And sometimes too, to remind you, like, to visit with them about, okay, these are the benefits of if we did this. This is the risk of if we did this. To really talk through some of that stuff. What do you decide? What's the best option for you? I think too, we often forget, like, we make fun sometimes of the guy who can pass out during or right after. But if you've ever been to a birth, you forget about yourself, and they do too. They forget about themselves and eating and drinking and stuff like that. So a doula is very helpful with that. But I can see why guys do, because it's like that adrenaline, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, and they haven't ate or drank anything. Yeah. So I know the guys that I know who have had a doula at the birth, they're very, very appreciative to have a doula, because it helped them so much, and had their experience improve as well, because they felt like they were helping that partner so much more. Yeah. Erica, sorry. Is this class only for first-time moms?
No, it's not. And all of our classes are available online. So if you're in Dickinson and you're like, we're not going to drive to Watford City once a week for 6 weeks, that's crazy. That doesn't work for us. You can go to watfordcitybirth.com. It's my website, and you can follow the link to check out where our online classes are at birthbootcamp.com. So that's another option for you. So
awesome.
Yeah, no, you don't have. I took my first childbirth class when I was pregnant with my third kid. So,
because there's always more to know, right? Like,
and it was a birth boot camp class. It was this 10-week, and that was why I became an instructor, was because of that class. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So anything else that you can tell us about birth camp, or that we didn't touch on, that you want to tell everybody?
We have trainings all over the country. We have 2018 trainings and 2019 trainings, I think, are up on the website. You can go to birthbootcamp.com and birthbootcampdoulas.com. and look at training dates and see what you have to do for certification, stuff like that.
If they're interested.
If you have any questions, you can get a hold of me.
Right, it's like 8 to 9 months, basically, the process.
Doula training is 6 weeks. You have to sign up 6 weeks in advance. And then for instructor training, it's a little bit, I think it's like 8 or 12 weeks. There's a little bit more like prerequisite stuff before you go to training. So you're going to watch all of the online childbirth classes. You're going to do required readings. They ask you to go to a couple of births to attend that. Yeah. So there's some prerequisite stuff, and then you get to training, and it's how to teach the class, how to run your business, how to get established and networking with care providers, and things like that. So it's hands-on training with the birth boot camp trainers. So.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming. Awesome. We'll see you guys if you have any questions. My husband's watching. That's weird. Make sure that you like her Facebook page, which is
The Bakken Baby Bump.
Okay, so go like her page. Always message her. She's going to have updates as to like when her classes are and things like that. And I think that's everything. Yeah. Hopefully. If not, we'll take your link to in it. So we'll see you guys. Thanks. Bye.